Hello, Ignacy, Portal Games, and this is Informant, another episode. In this Informant we talk about the winter, because we had a conversation with Stephen Bonacor from Florida about the weather, and we talk about the designing cases for detective, two main topics. Have a good watch.
Stephen Bonacor, on behalf of my all employees and all geeks in Poland, I want to tell you, we hate you. We hate you with our whole heart.
So in this episode we talk about 7 steps to create a case. I had a conversation a few weeks ago with one of our fans, and he didn't realize how much work it is to create a case for detective, so I came up with the idea. I will show you these 7 steps to create a case for detective. It all starts with the books, it all starts with the history books sometimes other books, but you have to have an idea for the case, and from this idea we receive then from the author the script. This is a script for expansion, LA Crimes, and then if we accept the overall script, then for each case we have additional script with the title information for this particular case. So what's the plot, who killed, why he killed, where he was, what are the clues for the players. So everything is written in a sort of the form of the role-playing game scenario. Like you could literally run a game session, role-playing game session out of this. So this is the first step. We have to have a scenario. We have to have an idea for the case, the first step. Step 2. So we have the story. We know who killed, why he killed. We know everything. And now we have to build a game out of this. And this is exactly this door in our development room. For each of the clues there are notes, what players will find on such a card. So we have a name of the card, the location, and all the clues that are important in this card. As you can see, we don't want to spoil you too much, but as you can see, on every single card in the game there's a ton of information. I always make fun of the playtesters who play the game and read the card and say, oh, nothing interesting. Guys, always something interesting. You have to just find it hidden among the sentences. So this is the step number 2. We know the story, and now we have to make a game out of it. Present everything on the clues on a single particular card. So we have the case designed in terms of we know on which card what clue will be hidden, and now we have to write it in the actual text. Change a few stupid notes into actual wall of text with the flavor, with the fluff, and with the right information. With the first rough version of the case. Lots of work. Some reviewers or some people on the internet make fun of the all salad information in the base game. This is me writing about the salad. I want you to be healthy, guys. But it is really difficult to write interesting cards. So many different cards. In a base game we have 35 cards, multiplied by 5 cases, 150 cards, and on each there is one short story, one short situation that players go somewhere, meet somebody, talk with him. You have to prepare the rough version, and when it is done, when we have the first rough version of the case, we are done with the step number 3, and we can move to the step number 4, which is playtesting. once again, the most important playtesting. So we have the rough version of the case. We send it out to our playtesters, and they just play the cases. And first we do playtesting in the office. So my first playtester is Mary, then Marek and Greg. We have like a waves of playtesters. And when it is so working nice and smooth, we send it out to the playtesters. And then the hardcore part starts, because I have to listen to all these playtesting sessions. So each playtesting group records it as a file. They send me, and then I have the whole library of different groups for each case. Recordings. Here we have a group from Marek, one of his groups, and I have to listen how they play and listen what they think and how they build theory. This file has 1 hour, so this is part of the game session, and the listening. I think I wrote an article about this. I'm not sure if it is already published. With LA Crimes, we have a situation with Marek took a prototype with him for a weekend. He played with on a Friday with an Ovchi group. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
And then he took the same prototype to the other group, to the Kuba group. And the first group totally lost the case. The second group won it brilliantly. The same prototype, the same text on the cards, everything the same. One group terrible, the other group awesome. So I get the feedback, and then I have to figure out what's going on and how to change and what to change in the case. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks of playing and listening to these reports. We have playtesters in Warsaw, in Gliwice, in different places, and I'm just driving my car and just sitting in the office and listening hours of playtesting. Step number 4. Step 5, translation. So let's assume the playtesting is done, all the writing is polished and nice, and all the clues are in the right cards and in the right position, and everything is smooth, and we can now translate the whole thing into English. Because yes, we write detective, of course, in Polish. We have playtesters here in Poland, so then we have to translate. I have numbers for you, just to give you a picture. The base game of a detective has 480,000 letters, which is basically more or less searchable. This amount of the text you will find in the base game of a detective. If you would read every single card, if you would read every single document in the Antar's database, this is a absolutely epic amount of text, and this has to be translated in English. Once again, this is weeks and weeks and weeks of work for the translators to prepare the final version of every single card and every single document in the Antar's database. Step 6, editing, which means that we have everything translated into English. It looks perfect, but now we have to send it to the native proofreaders, because it is written and designed in Polish. It is translated by the people who live here in Poland and translated into English. And to make it super smooth and super valid, we have to have a native proofreader. So we have a team in America who not only checks the grammar, who not only checks the smoothness and I would say polishing of the sentence, but they also check all the facts that we might get wrong. There's a lot of cultural references that we can make some mistakes because we don't know something about America. So they change, and sometimes we even have to change some clues because we thought something is different in America, and they say no, Ignacy, it is impossible to do it like that. And we had such a thing in LA Crime I cannot spoil, right?
Then
Forget about it. But there was such a cases that we had to change the actual clue because things that happen in Poland are different in America. So there's a team of proofreaders in America who once again read everything very, very carefully and changes and polishes and make it better and better. Once again, few weeks of hard work of a whole team. We have right now, after the base game was released, So this is a new thing for the LA crime. We have in the team also people who are actual investigators who work at the police and are gamers, and contacted us that they want to help us proofread the stuff. So they double check also if the game is accurate in terms of the procedures of the police procedures, which is also very, very cool. That we are legit. Seven, the last step is our artwork department takes all the files and starts preparing the actual files to print. And it is not only putting the text in the cards and making this as a files to print, but they have to find all the artwork, all the character illustrations, and there's a lot of research for that. In a case number in the base game of the detective, there was a lot of characters that, without too many spoilers, but we had to find their pictures that look like the 60s or 50s, and here we have the action in 80s. So once again, it's not that easy to find pictures of people or pictures of places that are very, very easily connected to the, for example, 80s. So there's a lot of work in that. Once again, weeks of work. On one hand, you have everything done, you have everything ready to print, but no, then the DTP process, once again, a few weeks, then proofreading these, printing these cards over and over, all again, reading again, if there's no mistakes. And then at some point, when we are dead tired and when we hate the project, we can send it to the print. So for you, one case is 2 or 3 hours of fun, and you think, oh, that's super easy. There's a few cards, just design, we know who killed, we wrote it, and it's ready. It's months of work on one case. We have to, first, once again, script, so we have to have the plot. The writer has to come up with a plot, then we have to gamify it, make all these cards, where is the clue, and develop everything, develop the whole plot on the cards. Then we have to write these actual cards, a ton of text. Once again, the whole text for the base game of the Untitled. There's so much text that has to be right. Then we have to polish it. So playtesting, weeks and weeks of the reports from the groups and listening to MP3 files and listening how they play and changing, improving the text, improving the clues, changing them on other cards. Then translations. I'm not doing that. This is translator work. But the weeks of translation process to make it from Polish into the English. Then editing native speakers to look at the cultural references, to look at the polished sentences, that everything is smooth and nice. And then DTP guys and all the artwork and layout and everything. Lots of work. For you is 2 hours of fun. For us is a months of work. But we love that work. I don't want to complain. I absolutely love it. I adore all the time I spend with the detective. I love this whole process. And I'm eager to create more content for you in the future. So yes, big project, but very, very fulfilling. Thank you for watching. There was 7 steps to create a case for detective.